Ladies and gentlemen, these are the five cops that took part in the murder of Tyre Nichols. And this is a big reason why many of us don't even care about Black cops being on the force. Let's be for real. The average Black police officer in America functions just like your average white supremacist race soldier cop. They function exactly the same. Even a Black cop knows he can get away with doing more to people in the Black community and there's no consequences. Okay? Even they know it. But here's how I feel. Anytime you take someone into custody, whether it's a white cop or Black cop, and it results in the death of that person, you should not get fired. You should be arrested. Yeah, terminate you, but you should not just be free to go home and go on with your life. All five should have been jailed. And I feel this way about any cop. If you take somebody into custody and they die and you had a hand in them dying, it should be automatic jail with no bond. You put anybody out here in society in jail for murder, they don't just get fired from jobs. And if that don't happen for the public, it should not happen for police officers either. So let's get into this story. This is so upsetting. It really is. Five Memphis officers fired over traffic stop that turned deadly. So this is an update on the Tyre Nichols story that I did a few days ago. So you're looking at the five Memphis police officers that were fired on Friday after the department found that they had used excessive force and failed to intervene or provide help during a traffic stop this month involving a 29-year-old Black man who died in a hospital 3 days later, officials said. The firings, which were the result of an internal investigation by the Memphis Police Department, come as the city braces for the release of police body camera footage that might provide clarity to how the man Tyre Nichols ended up in the hospital in critical condition after the arrest on January 7th. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Like I said, these five officers, look at the speed at how they fired these officers. It's a big difference, isn't it? Especially when it's Black cops. But they need to go that extra step and put these cops all in jail. The case has provoked outrage among activists and Mr. Nichols' family and has prompted state and federal investigations. Yet few details have been disclosed about the circumstances of the stop and the confrontations that preceded Mr. Nichols' death. His family has shared a photograph showing Nichols in the hospital. Yeah, and I showed that, and you could clearly tell he was beaten. He was all swollen, and you saw dry blood on the pillow, right next to his face. And I mean, he just looked horrible. And he was unconscious on, in that picture. And he was also on a respirator. He couldn't breathe on his own. I mean, that was terrible what they did. All of that for a traffic stop? That's why I'm saying, and this country is never going to correct that. It should not be a lot of people dying in a traffic stop. This is just a load of BS. and they won't do nothing about it. These politicians, this is their job to fix this wrong that's going on. And they're sitting there and they want to give you Juneteenth as a holiday instead of fixing this issue. They won't get rid of qualified immunity. And you see the end result, how this stuff, it just continues on and it never gets better. The Memphis Police Department is committed to protecting and defending its rights of every citizen in our city. That's a damn lie. Y'all don't protect nobody out here in the Black community. Sherilyn Davis, the police chief, said in a statement announcing the firings on Friday evening. The egregious nature of this incident is not a reflection of the good work of our officers perform with integrity every day. That's a lie. Y'all don't perform with integrity. You go out here and you terrorize the public, especially in the Black community. Mr. Nichols was stopped by officers on suspicion of reckless driving on the evening of January 7th near the southeastern corner of the city. The police and an initial statement said a confrontation occurred as the police approached his vehicle and Mr. Nichols ran away. Well, I guess he did. I mean, why does it take five officers to go after one Black man? That looks very weak. So there was then another confrontation as police arrested him. To me, after five people were there and one Black man, there is no excuse to why you didn't bring this man in alive. Look at the amount of officers up against one man. I mean, come on. Looks weak. Mr. Nichols complained of having shortness of breath. Yeah, because y'all beat him up. Y'all beat the hell out of this man. An ambulance was called to take him to the hospital, officials said, and he died on January 10th. On Friday, the police department said that it had finished a thorough review of the circumstances surrounding this incident and had found that officers violated its policies on excessive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid. Well, that's one consistent thing they do when they're dealing with it. Doesn't matter even if it's white officers, if there is a Black man or woman or even a child in need of first aid, they have a pattern of failing to do it. All right. All right, so the five officers, Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett, Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith. That's all five of their names. They were terminated. The officers, who are all Black, had all joined the department between 2017 and 2020. This is the first step towards achieving justice for Tyre and his family, Ben Crump, and Antonio Romanucci, lawyers representing Nichols' family, said in a statement on Friday they must also be held accountable for robbing this man of his life and his son of a father. Local prosecutors called the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to look into the case while Mr. Nichols was still alive in the hospital. And on Wednesday, federal prosecutors in Memphis said that a civil rights investigation had been opened. City officials also vowed this week to release the body cam footage after the police department's investigation had been completed and Mr. Nichols' family had had an opportunity to see it, which is expected to happen early next week. We take departmental violations very seriously, and while we must complete the investigation process, it is our top priority to ensure a swift justice is served. Jim Strickland, the mayor of Memphis, said in a statement. We want citizens to know that we are prepared to take immediate and appropriate actions based on what the findings determine. Really, if you are serious, America, you'll get rid of this qualified immunity. And this is all the more reason that backs up what we've been saying all along. You need to strip this qualified immunity. This death probably would never have occurred if they knew there was something on the line. But as long as there is qualified immunity to protect the police officers, this is going to continue on. The five officers could not be reached immediately for comment on Friday. The Memphis Police Association, the union representing the city's officers, declined to comment on the firings. The citizens of Memphis, and more importantly, the family of Mr. Nichols, deserve to know the complete account of the events leading up to his death and what may have contributed to, um, this is what the union president is saying. Asika Cage Rosario is the name of the union president. And this is what they said in a statement on Friday. Well, strip their peace officer license, get rid of qualified immunity, and we need a hate crime bill. Anything less coming out of Washington, D.C., you're not helping us at all. And it tells us you're not interested in helping the Black community at all. My prayers go out to Tyre Nichols' family. I hope they can find some peace in all this madness. It is so difficult. But I'm glad they lawyered up and got representation. And these officers, they all need to go to jail. All of them. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.